In this week's episode, I get you more customers. Hi and welcome to episode 10 of Business Greenhouse TV. Excited, we finally got to double digits. So thoroughly enjoying the journey. Had a great morning today. Today's Friday. This morning I had a meeting with the Mayor of the Gold Coast. So I was invited in as a representative of the business community, the Christian business community, to go and talk about certain things. I got to pray with the Mayor. It was a really good time. Can't say too much, but great to be recognised and have that level of influence in with him. And looking forward to more. He's asked me to come back and do a bit more work. So I'm super pumped about that. This week's show, I'm going to cover off just marketing stuff. We're going to go deep with marketing. I want to show you a couple of strategies to get more customers and get them quick. So Michelle, what is our first question?
Louise Austin asks, there are different types of advertising on Facebook. How do you know which one to use and when? For example, just to get likes or to sell a specific product?
So Louise Austin, let me give you a quick shout out. She's the principal of an RTO in Bow Desert, which is kind of regional Queensland, and doing great things out there, having a huge amount of influence. So thanks for the question, Louise. Okay, so there's different ways to market on Facebook, and there is. Like Facebook for me at the moment would have to be the premier social media platform that there is. There are a whole bunch of gurus going around saying people are leaving Facebook. Yeah, they are, and they're usually like young girls in the age of 12 and 15 because they've moved on to Vine, Snapchat, other products that are excellent for their demographic. But the truth is with Facebook, there's more active users than ever before. In August, they had their first day where 1 billion active users in one day. Like, it's going gangbusters and it's becoming super sophisticated. So let me give you, there's basically two, and it's more complex than this, but I want to give it to you to a point where it's practical enough to use. You can boost content or you can write dark posts or unpublished posts, okay? They're the main two. So which one is better? Well, to me, they serve different purposes. You know, in years gone by, Facebook was all about getting likes, getting followers, getting likes, getting, you know, replies. And my problem with that is, I'm not interested in likes, I'm interested in customers, okay? And they don't necessarily, one doesn't necessarily mean the other, okay? So I'm not interested in getting likes, I'm interested in getting people eyeballs to my website so they can buy stuff. So likes is a very low indicator of what the future is going to mean in terms of converting off Facebook. So you can go for likes, but you don't have to. See, with Facebook dark posts now, you used to have to build up a massive amount of likes to look credible on Facebook so you could push content to them. Now you can have one like and start pushing ads to your website. So it's changed a lot. But I want to kind of help you out with a little bit of structure. When it comes to Facebook, it's a long play, okay? Like, you can run ads to your website and make money tomorrow, and that's a really good thing to do. But if you want to start to have a long sustainable version, a sustainable way to make customers on Facebook, it's a long-term play. So I would be taking the budget you've got for Facebook, whatever budget that is, and I suggest that gets bigger and bigger over time, and take it off the really bad strategies like billboards and yellow pages, start to put more of it into social. You've got to spend some of your money on awareness, some on engagement, and some on conversion, okay? So awareness, engagement, conversion. You've got to be a bit more strategic than just boosting posts. When you divide it out like that, like, you know, you've got to get people to find out about you, then you've got to start a dialogue with people, and then you've got to hit them up to go buy stuff. And you've got to have 3 distinct groups when you're pushing this thing called Facebook. So if you're in the early stages, you need to spend more of your budget on awareness. But if you've already got a big following on Facebook, you can divide your budget up in such a way that more goes to conversion so you can get more sales. So if you've got, like, you can do a like my page campaign, get people finding out about you, which is a really good strategy. So, you know, that's just one of the things that Facebook offer is like my page, build up your likes. You can boost content to people that already like you. So that's like engagement, where you write articles or put videos and you pay to push them to people that like your page. And then you can do unpublished posting, get them straight off Facebook onto your website to buy stuff. But it's time we got strategic about them because they serve a different purpose. What do you need right now? Do you need quick conversion? In that case, unpublished posts to a website. If you want to build the long-term game of Facebook, then start putting good quality content and boosting that to your audience with a specific call to action that you want them to take. You end up being the authority in your sphere if you operate like this. And that's what gives you the credibility that when you ask for them to buy, they will buy. Okay? So you can start doing ads right now to a website and make money, and that's excellent. But the long-term play is more strategic. Spend money getting people to find out about you, spend money engaging with them, spend money asking them to buy. Solid question. I hope that clears up a little bit of the unknown about Facebook. There's so much more you could learn. There's a million gurus out there who understand Facebook. Go find somebody who can go and teach you this stuff or handhold you through it, because like, it is the future. The internet superhighway is here to stay, and Facebook is not a fad. It's getting better and more sophisticated as time goes on. So you'll want to get on there. You want to start to utilize that platform because, in my perspective, it's excellent. Very good. Let's get straight on to question 2. Michelle, what is our question?
Chris Patterson asks, is a referral program worth it, or is developing affiliate partners more effective?
Chris Patterson, let me give you a quick shout out. He's an Aussie living in Seattle, so that's a little bit of fun, and he's been a good friend for a long time, so thanks heaps for your question. We did referral strategies in an earlier episode, so I reckon go back and do that. But referrals for me, this is a language difference, but referrals for me are the ones you get from your current customers. So getting your current customers to give you more referrals, that's referrals. If we're talking about setting up other things, I call them strategic alliances, and that's simply going out and finding other businesses where you can work together. But the key here is strategic alliances. Most people are racing around setting up ad hoc alliances. They usually don't work. They take up hours of people's time to put them together. They're full of promises and hot air, and they hardly ever go anywhere. Okay, so I think we've got to find a way to steer clear of those, because they just waste time. They're just too much hard work. So referrals is getting your current customers to give you some more, but strategic alliances. And let me give you a bit of a structure on how to set up a strategic alliance. The first thing you've got to work out is who. So they've got to be non-competing, obviously, so you're not selling the same product, but they've got to have the same audience. So if you're business to business and they're business to business, excellent. You know, if you want to deal with people that want to get fit, find other people out there who have businesses that help people get fit. You know, if you're in the wedding industry, go find somebody else in the wedding industry and do an alliance together, because you have the same audience of people. So who is already dealing with your audience is a question you want to ask yourself. Who is already dealing with them? And then find businesses in those fields and go and set up strategic alliances. But there's another criteria. They've got to have the same values system as you. See, too often we end up jumping into bed with a company or a person that we're going to do an alliance with, and you find out down the line that your values aren't aligned, you know, or your ethics aren't aligned, and it comes unstuck. So in my opinion, these strategic alliances, you want to build them slowly. You know, ring them up and say, this is what I'm thinking. If they don't get it, don't worry about trying to convert them in your idea. Go find somebody else. There's plenty of people out there to do alliances with. Ask them for coffee, pitch the idea. If they get it, excellent. Go and have lunch with them. Have lunch, flesh out how you could do it. Excellent, let's catch up again. Because doing that's when you find out the true values of the person you're going to jump into bed with. You can find out that they really mean it. Anybody can fake it in one coffee meeting, but they can't fake it over time. So you want to make sure your values are aligned and you're both in it for the best interests of your clients. But then when I say strategic, this is what I mean. I'd be going to these people once we've fleshed it out, we like it, everything's going well. I'd be saying, I'm going to send you one referral, you send me one referral, or let's put on an event together. I'll put people in the room, you put people in the room, and we'll train them for a lunch and learn. Okay, that's a strategic alliance. And so, but I would be saying to my strategic alliance people, I'd be saying, let's do one event and let's meet again. Because if we do one and I don't like it, I want freedom to get out. Or if we do one and they don't like it, I want them to have freedom to get out. So you're basically saying, let's do a little bit together and let's meet again and check that we like it. And if it's going well for both parties, then we can scale this thing up and go and do lots of it. And once you've got one of those set up, you can imagine if you were getting, 5 to 10 leads a month, from another business sent into you and you were doing the same to them, it's much easier to grow a business when you do it with collaboration with other people. So that's one alliance, but you could go and find somebody that's in a different industry that deals with your client and go and do another one, another one, another one, another one. You could go and set up this, this portal of pipeline of leads where you're just passing them between each other. And it's much easier to grow a business when you work alongside and with other people for mutual benefit. So how do you set them up? Quickly, get out there, start making the calls, go through the process, get to know them, understand their business, understand them as a person, check that they're the right people for you to be aligned with, and then when they are, structure it. Like we're going to give each other one for one. Like you could even document it on a piece of paper. That's how strategic I would be going. I'm going to do this, you're going to do this. Then we're going to check at this point, at this time in the future, that it's working for us, okay? That's how strategic I would get. And I'd always be checking with those people. Are you still getting value? Are you still getting value? Are you still getting value with my strategic alliances? Because when they are, everybody prospers and you're collaborating. And when you do that, life gets a lot sweeter. Very good question. I like that question. Today's tea is actually coffee for a change, just to mix things up a little bit. Okay, word of the week. Today I want to take you to 1 Peter 4:10. 1 Peter 4:10. I'm going to read it to you and then I'm going to expound a little bit. And I guess I want to touch an area that generally doesn't get touched in terms of Christian business. Let me read it to you. Each of you should use whatever gift you've received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Okay? So each of you should use whatever gift you have to serve others. The number one value of the business greenhouse in our values list is that the call to business is a call of God. If you're called as an entrepreneur, that is a godly calling. And I want to validate that call. Like there aren't many people validating that business is a godly call, it's a godly assignment, and that's what I want to be doing. See, for too long it's been thought that the preacher is the highest call and everybody else is behind that. It's not biblically sound. If you're a business person, your role is just as important to the kingdom as the preacher. Like your boardroom is as anointed as the altar of a mega church. Your small fish and chip shop is just as important to the kingdom as a mega church, with thousands and thousands of people. They're different. They're not better than others. In fact, let me put it to you this way. If you're a full-time Christian, you're already in full-time ministry. You chose ministry the minute you became a believer. It doesn't look like a pastor. It looks like something different. It could be for people in government. It could be teachers of schools. It could be whatever, wherever you find yourself. But for business people, like business is a ministry. Now, you don't have to have a Jesus fish on your business card, and I recommend you probably don't. You can, but I recommend you probably don't. You don't have to say on your website, you can say we're a Christian company. You don't have to. You can do it by your actions, okay? But the thing is, not many people in my experience have had their call to business validated. It's almost second rate, but it's not. It's not biblically sound. If you are called to business, you are called to ministry. And that right there is where you are called to go and be salt and light. And it's not a Sunday thing. It's a Monday to Saturday thing. Sunday is where you go to rekindle with your friends and get fired up again. But Monday to Saturday, that is your domain. That is where you're called to be a minister. And if you've never had that validated, that it's just as important to the kingdom as a preacher, then I want to do that for you now. Your call is as important. The role that you are playing right now is helping advance the kingdom. That was a bit of a rant that I wanted to get off my chest at the same time as kind of, let you know that the anointing that you hold is so vital. We give people jobs, we create the asset base. When we employ people, we're paying off people's mortgages. When we employ people, we're helping people put their daughters through dance. Like that has so much intrinsic value by itself. Our gift of business is first and foremost to the marketplace and secondary to the church. Yes, when we go into the business and win, we bring those spoils back and we fund our spiritual covering. We fund our local church. We can fund other things as well. We can fund missionaries, we can fund organizations, but we fund our local church. But our gift for entrepreneurship, our gift to go and turn nothing into something is first and foremost for the marketplace. And I'd love you to own that. Great episode 10. Quite theological today, which I certainly quite like. And I'm super excited. Next week, I've got something a little bit different for you, so make sure that you watch. See you next week. Bye for now.